Hello again, it's Cornelia with Amazing Mechanical. This video is going to be about the many hats that you have to wear as a business owner. This is all coming straight from my experience being the owner operator of Maze Mechanical, why I got started, how I'm doing in the industry. It's a great checkpoint. It's hopefully give you a lot of food for thought if you're thinking of starting your own business or you're looking for insight into growing your business. When I say that there are many hats, and my experience when I started my company is the reasons why I started my company was for work life balance. I wanted to inject a measure of integrity into my work and everything that I did. I felt like it was so impersonal working for big companies, even though the money was always good. Um, so I decided to go out on my own and didn't really know what it was going to take to do it, but along the way, I discovered that you're in charge of a lot of things. You're foremost, you're the lead tech, you're the lead installer, you're the in charge of marketing, you're customer service, you're bookkeeping, you're the owner, um, the comfort advisor. You're all of those different things, and how you approach all those things. My best advice to anybody is that you look for self opportunities to self reflect. You have to understand what you're good at. I'm an awesome tech. Like, this is the tech hat, right? I am really good at fixing things, and I am really good at explaining what I'm doing to my clients and making them feel comfortable with the process. So, awesome tech. But awesome tech also means that I am a great installer too, right? That's the next hat, right? Or maybe even the first hat. Like, I'm a great installer, awesome tech, and that all works really well for getting this stuff done. But you also have to think of the other things that it takes to run a business, such as you know marketing and sales. So that one, that particular hat, that was one of the most difficult aspects of getting comfortable in my business because uh, there are so many pitfalls in the marketing and sales side of things because I believe in transparency and whenever it gets awkward and you're talking about money with your clients, there tends to be this want or this desire from someone such as myself to where I'm trying to do the best that I can, even sometimes sacrificing my own welfare, well being, or financial well being by giving discounts that are actually hurting me in the long run. So that's part of, the bookkeeping hat, the marketing and sales hat. You have to understand where your strengths are. In sales, I've found a pretty good methodology that I use, but it's not overly complicated. I just approach everything with transparency, and I'm willing to share what I pay for materials, cost, everything, and have the conversation about capitalism and profit if I have to. Um, I believe in transparency, and this page is public, and all my clients, if they happen to come along this page, they will tell you the same thing that I will have conversations down to the nitty gritty of what it takes to run my business and why I price things the way I do. I worked for big companies where the sales side of things always made me feel like I was being pushy or they had a 10-step system that they wanted. And I always figured, hey, why don't you just be honest with people and tell them, what to expect and what you're capable of and let them know, that you're just trying to run a good business and you need profit to stay in business and to grow and so that your product can spread to other folks. And a lot of times people will be comfortable with that and they'll just say like, hey, you know what, if someone's gonna get our business, I would like it to be you, Corn, because you've been honest with me, you've been transparent with me. that probably is the most difficult hat that I had to wear, was learning how to market successfully. Another one that I want to talk about, and this is probably one of the major pitfalls: bookkeeping, administration. I am not good at that. I am proficient at best, but man, I do not like it. So if you're analyzing your strengths and weaknesses, and you figure out that you are just no good at appointment setting, bookkeeping, following up, all of that stuff, like, hey, you're a great tech, you're a great installer, you would rather spend your time, turning wrenches and stuff like that. This is the part where I would tell you that it's okay to ask for help. And by that, I mean pay somebody to do it. I ran into these guys they were called Work Hero. They were willing to do the work for you for like $2,500. I haven't hired them, but I was seriously considering it because that's actually pretty cheap. $2,500 a week. That's pretty cheap when you think about what they would be doing. I haven't really dove into it yet, but I might, because I am not the best at keeping all these plates spinning like a circus act. I'd rather just go install stuff or service stuff, because I like solving problems, except for the problem of how to run a streamlined business, right? But we've been getting by. I just feel like, being a good tech, I should be in the field, right? So that's where I admit my shortcomings. And I would just encourage you, if you're watching this set of videos, then you're wondering all of the different steps along the way, and the obstacles I've run into, that's definitely one of the biggest ones. That particular hat was one of the toughest. But the most important hat that you're probably going to wear is the comfy winter warm one, right? But you are the owner. This company that you are creating, it is your vision, and you should understand that at the core of what you're doing, you're going to stay true to what it is that brought you into this industry to go out on your own. For me, it was just wanting to have a more control, measure of integrity, and being transparent, and work life balance. Because although I love my work, I also want to spend time with my family and make sure that I'm not expending all my energy in my career, because then I'm not focusing on the things that I truly care about. And not that I don't care about my work, but my family, right? With that being said, though, this short video about wearing many hats, I think the conclusion that I would have for you is just to make sure you understand what you're good at. It doesn't mean that you're a bad business owner because you aren't so great at bookkeeping or something along those lines. It's just identify what you are particularly good at, and don't be afraid to seek help or even paid help in some of the areas where you need to pick up a portion of your business. Be a good tech, hire a good admin, hire a good bookkeeper, hire some comfort advisors. Do what you have to do, but just don't be afraid to admit your shortcomings. You don't have to wear every single hat.